Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the brand new 2021 Netflix original show, Shadow and Bone, Season 1 of Shadow and Bone. This is based off of a best-selling book series. I never read it. I knew it existed, never had any interest in it. And this is an 8-episode long Season 1. This is getting rave reviews from fans, 8.0 on IMDb. And I'm watching this show right after I watch Irregulars, and I loved The Irregulars. The Irregulars was well crafted, well executed, awesome. But it's doing terrible on IMDb compared to this. That has like a 6 something. This is like an 8 something, right? This show was really bad, and I don't know why everybody loves it. Like, it was so boring. It was so boring. So boring. So this plot point, and again, I can't compare it to the books. I have no comparison. I'm only speaking to what was presented to us on the screen. So boring. The only saving grace of this show was the character of Jesper. He was hysterical, perfect, snide, and super talented. Mal was great too, but like, that's really it. Everyone else was just whining and complaining the entire time, or like, someone's strong here and then weak there and then strong again. There's 4 different stories going on at the same time, and then they kind of all mesh at the end, kind of. And a lot of my issues with this story is it's told present and past and present and past and present and past. No, like we've discussed so many times, there's an appropriate way to do that. If you want to give me flashbacks, do it appropriately. These flashbacks were so unnecessary at given intervals, and like, so many points, it would always go back to Adina and Mal holding hands as kids. Like, I get it. I saw it the first 4 times. I don't need to see it 12 more times. Like, it's irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant. So you have this main character, Adina, right? She is what's called a Grisha. Grisha are these people in this fictitious land of Ravka, one specific country. There's other countries around them. It's kind of like Victorian Russia, or whatever Victorian Russia's equivalent was called at the point. That's kind of what Ravka is. Adina and Mal are orphans, and they were in an orphanage together. They were both, quote-unquote, tested as kids to see if they had special abilities, or are Grisha. Mal cheated. No, Mal is not special. Mal is not a Grisha, and Adina cheated. So she was not claimed or discovered to be a Grisha when she was a kid. Turns out she's the Sun Summoner, who is the equal opposite of the Shadow Dweller, or whatever the hell his name is. They call him the Dark Heretic, who has survived centuries, and we get his backstory, kind of. The whole premise is that Ravka is separated by this gigantic wall of storm called the Fold, and in the Fold there are these monsters called Volcra, and the Volcra eat people and like who cross the Fold. But if like you travel with blue light, you're fine, but if you travel with the fire, which is orange light, you're dead. I don't understand the physics of it, but sure, okay. The Volcra were neat, but like we kind of go into the back of like how the Fold came about, because it's the Dark Heretic Alexander, you know, just in a vengeful bit, but then he becomes this villainous, I'm going to take over the world mindset, and that's why he wants to use, you know, Adina's Sun Summoner power when she is actually discovered to be the Sun Summoner. There's a mythical stag involved with all of this. Mal is trying to save Adina throughout all of this, but then there's other people like Jesper and his crew. They're like, you know, trying to kill the Sun. They were hired to kill the Sun Summoner as opposed to save the Sun Summoner, but then they all like team up at the end to defeat the Dark, you know, the Darkling. But he then survives the Volcra at the very end, and he starts to walk out of the Fold with an army behind him. Like, this story was leading up to, okay, she's going to kick his ass. Adina is going to kick Alexander's ass. She's going to break up the Fold, and like a new Ravka is going to be, right? And she'll like come out and, you know, be the saint that, you know, she has been portrayed as being. They don't mention gods at all. There's no gods or goddesses. It's saints, saint and saints, which I liked. Okay, so Jesper, Mal, and saints as a whole. Adina was an annoying character, because she was very anti-establishment, then she was for establishment, and then she was back to anti-establishment, and then she's for the girl's all over the place. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then when she finally like like liberates herself, and like Mal throws the Darkling to the Volcra, and she like gets the skiff through the fold, you know, with her sun summoning powers. Like, she had enough strength to bring light about, but she doesn't have enough strength to defeat all of the fold, despite the fact that she is the chosen one that the stag created. That's why she has part of the antler inside of her, and she has all of this amplified power now, and yet she's not using it, because once she's strong enough, they'll come back to the fold to defeat it. Hence a season 2. Again, I have no idea what the story is. There's so much history that's presented to us in a nonchalant, oh yeah, they did this at some point. But like, it's relevant and it's important, but I have no idea why it's important. Like, how do I explain this? You know how in Game of Thrones season 1 through 7 is incredible because like we go over pasts, we go over presents, and we go over future, stuff like that. And then season 8 didn't happen. Season 8 didn't happen, okay? And it's unfortunate that we're getting a prequel to Game of Thrones because of how horrible season 8 did a wrap up. I have no faith for this prequel, but that was an appropriate way of telling different stories, right, of different people, and then all meshing together at some point, one way or another. This, and also Game of Thrones has the wall, right, the big frozen wall which separates, you know, the ice zombies, if you will, from the mortals, if you will, because winter has come. But like, the fold is the equivalent of the wall in this particular story. Like, it was trying to be so many different things, and like, it was so boring. Like, I rolled my eyes so many times while watching this, especially at the endings of most of the episodes. Like, something was revealed, or like the episode ended, and I'm like an eye roll and an exhale. I don't know how you eye roll, but I roll left to right. I don't do right to left. I don't know why. I start left to right. My left, which is your right, left to right. But I would exhale. So if I'm eye rolling and I'm exhaling, no, that's not a good sign. Yeah, I don't understand why this is doing so well, because it's not a good story. Like, it has good concepts, but it has terrible executions. Does that make sense? I feel like this is a prime example of great actors, bad storytelling, and we say this all the time. So it is what it is. Let's hope season 2 wraps up destroying this fold, because again, I've never read the books, so I don't know anything. But if the entirety of the entire book series is about destroying the fold, and it's taking multiple books and it's taking multiple seasons to destroy the fold, awful plot, terrible plot. Because if Alexander, as the Darkling, as the Black Heretic, can create the fold by himself, and then now that Adina is fused with the stag, right? Because she's the chosen one, she has the antler inside of her, she's fused with the stag as an automatic amplifier, she herself can destroy the fold. Like, I don't know why this is a problem. If he himself, without any magical ability, add-ons, amplifiers, created it, she, with an amplifier, can destroy it twice as easy as he could create it. I'm frustrated. We need to watch something fun or horror-related or comedy. I don't know. Let's try to find a horror comedy next, all right? I need to clear my mind, because this drove me crazy how boring it was. I said it. That's all there is to say. Mahalo.